Nomsa, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you have been trying to find out what the Bushiris did to get over the border. What have you been able to find out about how they ended up in Malawi?
There are a lot of suspicions, particularly from the South African police side, in terms of how they could have done so. So the first suspicion here is that they possibly could have been able to sneak out of South Africa by road with the help of a luxury car stealing syndicate that steals cars from South Africa and then brings them here into Malawi. And it's suspected that they possibly used the Mangochi border post, which is in the south of Malawi.
I see. And in terms of crossing over, would they have come via Beit Bridge and then either through Zambia or through Mozambique to end up via road in Malawi?
It sounds like they were able to come out of South Africa using the Pongola border post into Swaziland and then into Mozambique. So it looks like they used the long route to get here, not to be detected. But from obviously the things that we see here is that they had to pay a lot of money to ensure that they were able to get to Malawi safely. And also there are suspicions as well that the couple could have possibly traveled separately to also avoid detection.
And so you say your information suggests they could have left via the Pongola border here in South Africa, using what, likely fake passports or possibly bribing officials at the border?
No passports at all, possibly, but a lot of money to get in and obviously to make sure that they are undetected and that they are safe. It looks, though, that no passports were used at all in this regard.
Now, we know that an arrest warrant has been issued from South Africa. South Africa is trying to get them extradited. How much attention is the Malawian government giving to this issue? Have they spoken out about it publicly? Have they perhaps spoken to you about it?
The Malawi government started speaking about this issue on Saturday, a few hours after Shepherd Bushiri announced that he was actually here in Malawi. I spoke to the Foreign Affairs Minister, Eisenhower Mkaka, who confirmed to me that by the investigations that they had done as the government here, that it looked as if Bushiri arrived in Malawi on Wednesday evening. And the BBC also spoke to Bushiri on Saturday evening, in which he confirmed to the BBC that he arrived here in Malawi on Wednesday evening, but when probed about how he did it, how he managed to get into the country, he would not be drawn on that. All he said was what is important to him and his family is that they have been able to flee South Africa and come here because they felt that their lives were in danger. He also said, though, that he's expecting that his government is going to intervene politically and speak to the authorities in South Africa to help with this. But from what we gather from the government here, the government says it does not want to interfere at all politically, but it says that the only thing that should be happening here is that law enforcement agencies in Malawi need to be dealing with that issue.
Yes, now we understand that this, while there is an extradition treaty among SADC members, ultimately it's Malawian law that has to decide whether to force the Bushiris back to South Africa. I spoke to a Malawian lawyer just a little earlier, and the fact that they've raised their concerns about safety for their lives could actually put a stop to that extradition process. It is going to have to be resolved to a certain extent on a diplomatic level. While there's the law, there's also diplomacy, and relations between Malawi and South Africa are so important for Malawi particularly. That response that they're not going to interfere is an interesting one. Do you expect that position to change, Nomsa?
At this stage, it's highly likely that the position will remain as it is, but we have seen correspondence from South Africa in the form of a press statement from the International Relations Department, in which they say that the relations between Malawi and South Africa are cordial, and that they will continue to ensure that those relations stay like that. But there is no doubt that the escape of this controversial pastor actually threatened diplomatic ties between South Africa and Malawi. So it remains to be seen how the two countries can actually resolve this and ensure that Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary do go back to South Africa to face justice. It could take years, we don't know how long it's going to take.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing what you've discovered with us. We really do appreciate it.